And see, right now it's showing
Oh,
it.
it's showing that
Yeah, it says that we're at TY for right now,
and paste. Hang on, I don't know if I did this
and the
one.
radio show. Put us back on the network. See
Paste
what happens there.
people advocating.
Yeah, on the black circle.
This one here. Okay, and that's it, or do we need
I
another
don't
one?
know. I don't see it. I
This
don't
one
see
here.
the one.
That one. That one. Okay, let's see.
There you go. Oh, look at that. Oh. No, we lost the TY feed.
Oh, now it's going down again.
Yeah. Yeah.
Why? Don't like that's just why.
Oh, I know. And it'll work on some other locations.
Right?
For example, I've seen it on the 420 Pace Facebook page. Hang on, I'm listening to myself here on my phone while I get the link so I can share.
Well, we got them all up running right now again.
Oh yeah.
Well, it says there's a check mark on the top. I don't know.
I got a check mark on TY right now and on the radio
I
show,
wonder why. I'm wondering if
but not on the network. But yeah, it beats me. I don't know. It's been doing this for a week now. I haven't received any notifications whatsoever telling me that.
that's what I'm wondering. I'm wondering if they're blocking it because of the fact that it's got leaves on it or
I don't
something.
know. I haven't received any notifications
That's weird.
saying that I violated any community standards. There it goes. Just click the TY one now.
I got violated on TikTok for putting a puking emoji up under a picture of polio, telling me I was violating community standards, and then they wouldn't. I appealed it, and they wouldn't restore the content, and it was
No,
literally
eh?
an emoji puking under polio's picture.
Right now all I can do is what I'm doing presently. I'm taking the YouTube link and posting it on the network's feed in Facebook.
Yeah. Well, I guess that's the best. That's a good way. You can go throw it up on my pages too. If you want.
Yeah, put a date on it.
Yep.
See what happens. But yeah, I haven't received any notifications. Now, see, we piggyback onto another system, and I'm just going to check it right now. And going through that system, look at that. We're live on Facebook. We're on the 420 pace, but I'm not connected through my StreamYard account. We're connected through a different system.
Yeah, weird.
Yeah, really weird, eh?
That's really weird.
Now I'm just gonna check. I'm gonna see if I can add that Facebook page to this podcast
Problem, it's me.
and see if it remains. And if we'll be running 2 feeds to that Facebook page. Yeah, right now it's there, so we'll see what happens. See if it continues.
Oh,
The other ones, yeah.
I guess as long as we've got somebody or something kind of hair sticking out like a freaking lamb chop there.
So.
I'm the problem. It's me.
So today, besides trying to figure out what's going on with Facebook,
There we go. I just want to get rid of that stuff off my screen too because it's like everywhere. It's like, what the hell? I can't see out because it's covering your face.
Right. Yeah. We're still running on the 420 pace, so that's good. So tonight in the broadcast, I've got some information here on some studies that were done, such as parenting, something to do with where's this one about about cannabis does not impact working memory and other brain processes. Now that's just not some report that's someone threw together quickly. That's from the American Medical Association. That's just
I know a couple weeks ago when I did a show about some research, I was doing a show about research and what's been being done. a lot of it came up from the American Medical Association on their website.
Yeah.
And one study that was being done in Canada, that had the last information coming out of Canada, was 2019. You hit the link and it referred to a study from the Medical Association, right? So that's not surprising at all that they're doing a lot more. They've also had they're a bigger population. They've got more resources and more interest than most Canadians. Like, we were talking before the show, like, this wasn't supposed to be an industry as far as the government was concerned. It was for public health and safety only, right? How it's grown and what it's grown into, and why we have to keep forcing them to do anything is because they don't care. Like I said, they don't want to talk about it. They don't want to do a victory lap.
Oh no, I know they don't
talk, like, because there's still people that don't like it. So it's not.
There's lots. Yeah, there's lots.
And I think they should do a victory lap over the fucking taxation of it. Honestly,
you look at the numbers wise. There's more people who are for it than against it, but still, there's still all that stigma.
Well, there's still the fact that they're saying that there's up in teenage population use, which we found that it's actually not really. And then there was all this, cannabis induced whatever that's been showing up at the hospital. We've had previous shows about this when we did the rundown on that survey, right?
Yeah.
But there's not, as far as I'm concerned, there's not enough evidence over these past 7 years to show that cannabis is harming anybody in Canada.
Yeah, like the sky hasn't fallen, almost knocked over.
Well, I mean, like I said, people aren't ODing on cannabis. You don't hear,
no.
A 13-year-old died from, a cannabis overdose. No, it was a 13-year-old died from a fentanyl overdose.
Correct. Yes. What's that happen?
So there's that, right?
Yeah. Now, okay, that's unplugged. Good. The today, I headed down to our sponsors business, legacy420.com. And while I was there, picked me up.
Ooh, which cat?
This is she's even got the package date on it. Where are we? It's somewhere in there we go. Oh, yeah.
5/24. So that was like basically.
That's today. Yeah.
Yeah.
Done today. 45 milliliters of the THC base. This is what we put into their juices and their beverages and stuff like that.
Now, do you take your own cannabis to them, or do they just have that available?
Correct. I purchased this today as this. This is a 65.
How many milligrams is that?
45 milliliters.
So what is the percentage?
20 milligrams per milliliter. So this is 900 milligrams of THC. And then I take this and I add that to a beverage of my choice.
And you don't add the whole thing to one beverage.
Correct. No. And this is not, you can see there's color to this, okay?
Yeah.
This is full extract.
Right. So could it be used in baking or no?
Oh, yeah.
So you could add that to my candy?
I would think so. I don't see why not.
Interesting.
Yeah, I don't
know that existed, Al.
Huh?
Now we do.
Yeah. Like I said, I'll take this and I'll put it into a jar with the eyedropper in it.
Yeah.
And one mil is 20 milligrams. So it's easy to figure out the dosing.
Oh, absolutely, right? Like, I mean, that's super easy. So if you wanted 100 milligram brownie, you'd put that many drops in.
5 drops in. Yeah, I put in. I usually make 30 or 40 milligram beverages, and I like to.
How many fluid ounces do you add that to, though?
I think it's like a 6-ounce tumbler glass. Yeah, 6 8 max.
Okay, so
I think more along the line of 6.
And then so it's 20 milligrams to 6 ounces of water or whatever. Like, that's what I mean. Like, when you dilute it, like, does that keep it at 20 milligrams? So you got how many? So say you put 5 drops in a 6 ounce. Is that still going to stay at 100 milligrams in 6 ounces?
It's still 100 milligrams. It's your percentage. Okay, it's not a percentage. You're still consuming 20 milligrams, whether you're putting it in a 10-ounce bottle or whether you put it in a 20-ounce bottle. You're still consuming 20 milligrams.
So if you add 20, 20, and 20, that would be like
because it's not based on percentage like alcohol is.
right.
So
Milligrams.
yeah, so
you add like 5 drops would be 100 milligrams to 6 ounces.
This is they're shot bottles, and
Right.
they'll sell these, at 30 milligrams. And you just drink this much, and it's 30 milligrams. So, the advantage of that is you're not drinking this fucking great big amount of fluid that you're
Right.
going to have to get
Right.
rid of later.
Right.
And you're getting that high dose that you are seeking.
Right. So I was just thinking like how many drops you would need for, say, my candy, which is like 1 cup of water. So that's 250 milliliters.
250 milliliters.
Yeah.
Well, what you could do,
I'd have to convert that into ounces. And how many ounces?
yeah, or would you just say, okay, you're gonna make 24 candies, so I'm gonna put 24 milligrams
or candies
in that. What's that?
I can't just make 24 candies. I have to make, like, my batches are usually 120.
Okay, so could you make 100 candies and put 100 drops in each candy? Like put a drop in each candy, so your candy is 20 milligrams?
I could do that, but then no, probably not, because it hardens. So what I usually do when I make my candy, right? And this is like, I actually add the extract right to the mixture at a certain flash point, and then wait for it to get ready, and then I pour the candy with the extract in it, and it's still evenly, like, you know what I mean? I dose in, so it's 1 gram of per, right, per milligram. So if I'm putting 5 grams of shatter, that's 500 milligrams, right? So I do 100 candies. So when you do the math, those candies are then 500 milligrams each. Because of the math, you times it by 100, divide it by 100, right?
Yeah. So this, so they sell this stuff. You can do whatever you want with it.
Brownies and all kinds of baking too. You could just add that to your mixtures.
Yeah.
Or no.
She said something, and I'm not 100%.
Oh, you're freezing up, though. Do you got wind or do I got wind?
There we go. I'm back.
Okay.
It's raining and crap going on here, so
we got rain and stuff too. Like I said, and it's blowing, supposed to be blowing like 100 kilometers. I was laughing about that, going 100 kilometers an hour. That's a breeze in Alberta. Everybody's like, batten down the hatches. But then again, we've got a huge fire going towards Grand Forks, apparently.
Yeah.
And a tornado apparently ripped through Osoyoos, which
that's
is
not good. So yeah,
I'm worried about Grand Forks because we've got a fellow cannabis activist that live and grow out there, and they live just on the outskirts of Grand Forks, and that they've all been evacuated. So I'm a little bit concerned about the Taylors.
Yeah. So could you just, if you're gonna make 100 candies, could you just throw 100 milliliters into your batch and then mix it in? That way, it's an average.
Yep, absolutely. So what I would do is take, like, because I said I use 250 milliliters of water, and then I use some corn syrup too, and some sugar, right?
Yeah.
And then the liquid itself only adds up to 3 cups in total, right? 4 cups. I got a big 4-cup Pyrex that I pour it into, right? And then I pour each candy by hand into those silicone molds, right?
Oh,
that's how I make them. It's not, that's how I do it.
By hand.
Yeah, every fucking
even having, because to put 100 drops into 100, like,
I couldn't
drop into 100 candies, that would take a lot of time. That's why I thought, you just mix this and you have to mix
that into the batch, because once they hit the silicone mold, they're hardening. So I wouldn't have time to pour them and then go back and drop into them because they'd be hardening.
Right. So it has to be mixed in the batch. That way, when it hardens, yeah. And like I said, it's full extract. It's not distillate.
Well, I said I was using shatter. I was getting shatter donated to me in great big huge chunks because I couldn't sell it because it was too dark. So I could use it in my candy, right? And I would just weigh it up and dose it up, and that's what I did. But it was Well, it wasn't always donated. I had to pay a lot of money for some of it, to
Mhm.
be fair. But again, that would balance out what the candy cost would be, and it would always average $2. I never charged any more than $2, and that was
No.
$2 a candy. But again, like as I had higher milligrams, some of them I had to charge. I never charged any more than $3. So honestly, for 1,000 milligram candy,
Yeah, I'm not sure what I actually like. I know what I paid for the total amount, but I'm not sure um what it was per milliliter. But they've lowered their prices at Legacy,
oh,
and I got a lower price, better price on that. Saved myself some money.
cool,
So when I did that, because of that, I bought myself some vape cartridges.
nice.
And I talked to the Canatech behind the counter about the cartridges because I have had cartridges
Yeah,
that
you said peak. Yeah.
so she wasn't aware of anybody's that leaked. So I thought, well, okay. I thought I was going to spend some money, X amount of money, and I saved some money. So the money I'm going to save, I'm going to spend it on something else and come
Uh,
home with a bonus.
I got this one at the legal store. I love it. Look at the tip on this.
Ah, yes.
I'd never seen anything like it. I pulled it
Oh,
in.
wow. Yeah, look at that.
Not neat.
Mine's just
Oh yeah, I got one like that too.
okay, so this one is tangy.
Nice. Yeah, I've got one like that too. See, this is a legal one, like from the legal stores too. But this is one from the legal stores too. And this one's actually melon, melon goo, melon go,
Angus.
double melon. I can't remember what this,
The expected cough.
of course. But yeah, I thought that was. I thought that little tip was super cool.
Yeah.
I never seen one like that before. Like I said, I pulled it out of the bag and went, "The hell is that?
Wow.
That's super cool."
And they make them right there on site.
Oh yes,
Yeah. They have, their own processing facility and everything there.
yeah, which I think is terrific.
Yeah.
You know,
And lab.
right? And a lab, exactly. Like I said, they're on First Nation. They're on the Tananga, right? So they're allowed. They're
Oh, 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 that wasn't the only thing. That was, I got a deal on that. And that's not the only deal I got.
you got lots of deals.
Yeah. Okay. Let me see. Okay. At the Esso gas station.
Oh wow!
Wow. Yeah. Yeah.
Nice.
116.9. So basically $1.17 a liter. Like we haven't had that in a few years because of it was down below that, I believe, during one stretch during COVID. But I haven't seen it.
My gas is $1.55 a liter.
Yeah, ours here in town is $1.46.6.
We can't go
So
to the rest.
basically, it's 30 cents more a gallon here where I live in this
They let
town.
you buy gas on the res.
That's gas on the res, but it's Esso gas on the res.
We're not allowed to buy gas on the res.
Oh, well, I did.
I don't think. Maybe we are. I never thought about
No,
it.
well,
You know,
I'll tell you.
go to the res in this place
Uh,
to
th-
buy gas all the
they,
time. The res right beside my grandparents. My grandparents used to live along the side, like in
well, you're
Oliver.
not allowed to buy. You're not allowed to buy cigarettes. You get
No,
fined $150 for having
yeah, I know.
cigarettes if you're not.
But our res doesn't sell those kind of cigarettes. They sell like Demariers and the John Player Standard, like the Canadian government standard out here.
Mm,
So you can buy cigarettes out there if you have a status card. They don't charge you tax on those. But we don't
right.
have a status card, so and they have to write it down. because Tony will go out every once in a while, and they're only allowed one carton a week. They have to write your name and your status card number down on this piece of paper so they can keep track of where every carton of cigarettes go.
Wow.
And the one lady
Every
said,
carton.
Tony, well, they're not supposed to buy them for anybody else. And Tony like went in and bought it, and she looks at him, she goes, "You don't smoke." He goes, "Yeah, I did. I just started."
Uh,
He can't say they're for his cousin because they won't sell them to him. They're not allowed to even buy them for any other people because they got caught buying tons and tons of cartons of cigarettes from the res like that, not paying taxes, and bringing them into town and selling them to people.
Ah, yeah.
So they got caught doing that. So now they've got, like I said, that, and that's like, yeah.
I know people who have gone to the res and bought smokes for other people. Grab me a carton, type
Yeah.
thing, right?
Yeah, no, they're not allowed to do that anymore out here. I don't know about anywhere else, but I didn't know that either. But yeah, Tony, and because I was asked him a couple times,
Yeah.
"Can you get me some cigarettes?" And Tony's like, "No, man, because I fucking run my fucking left leg," and they ask all kinds of stupid questions. He goes, "And for the fucking $2, or it's actually only $20 to save.
Yeah.
It's not even worth it." Like, and we don't buy curtains. He buys whatever in Alberta too, and you're not saving much money out there either. And I quit. I quit smoking cigarettes. I spend all my extra money that I spend on cigarettes, I spend on weed.
Oh, yeah. Well, hey, it's better for you.
Right?
Yeah. So,
I'm
I've
going
got
to the quarter yesterday. I'm like, what is
I got another cartridge here. I was getting the cough with the disrupt. Okay. This one's lime.
Ooh. I'm not a fan of lime.
No?
No.
I was looking for something that might have some flavor that stood out.
I tried an iced cartridge. They had one that was something iced.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't like that either. It was a new brand out. Yeah, something iced. It was cherry iced or something. And it wasn't a fan. It's got that ice, that mentholy to it.
This one tastes like a lime candy.
Ew. I just had that.
Bite to it.
I don't know why I put them back in my purse. What a moron. I hear I'm looking for my vape. I'm like, what the hell? Put it back in my purse. Like, who does that? Squirrel?
And
This tastes like
also,
watermelon because it's a watermelon too. But
is
it doesn't have like, it doesn't have that flavor to, like, it's not heavy. It tastes like actually like a watermelon strain, not like a watermelon flavor been added to it. If that makes sense.
Yeah. You're saying it's a natural flavor from
Like
the
it's
strain,
natural terpene
whereas
from
it's
the strain.
not a flavor agent.
Right. Where this one tastes like weed, right? Like, I don't think it has any. I don't remember what the brand or what the strain was for this one. And then I drop it. But that one you can tell it's a kush. You can taste it, right? You can taste that terpene, that cushy terpene flavoring to this one. Can't remember what the hell this one was. It was tiger blood from general admission. I bet you that's what it is. I usually stick to the general admission. So this is probably tiger's blood from general admission, which is a really nice strain. And I've got that one in this pod thing too. But I've given up on this because I went and got one of these battery things. This is a general admission packs batteries and the pods, and I gave up on this. I'm back to using the regular because this thing here, you can never tell if it's empty or not, and then you're sucking like a golf ball through a fucking garden hose. And and it's like, I'm not.
Yeah, ain't gonna work very good. Very well.
So I'm like, I'm not. Yeah. So I gave up on that whole thing because it was just ridiculous. Like I said, I just can't. And I'm at work too, and I bought it because it was like more like my nicotine vape, so it didn't like look like it was like out of ordinary to be sitting or I would be using it kind of thing on the camera.
Right.
I'm so aware of that stupid camera last night. There was a $20 bill stuck in the bank machine, right?
What?
Just laying there. And I could have stuck it in my pocket and, whatever. And I
Sure.
thought about it and I thought, you know what? I'm on camera. So I put that $20 bill in the cash out envelope and wrote a little note on it saying I found it at the bank machine. Not that I would want it to, you know what I mean? But it was just like,
So you put a note on it, and then what'd you do with it with the bank machine?
I put it in the cash out bag to get back to the store. Rather,
Oh, okay.
yeah. Like, it was just like, I mean, I don't know why it was there, but I mean, my conscience, like, and like Taven's like, well, at least you didn't pocket it because you're on camera. I said, yeah, I guess, and I never even thought about that.
I have left $20 in the bank machine.
Yeah, well, like I said,
and then I went back to go get it, and it was gone.
see, and I would like
somebody wasn't as nice as you.
Well, that's what Jen said. Did nobody come back for it? I said, nobody's come back for it. She goes, well, we'll leave it on the counter just in case somebody does. Because we've had people lose money because it got stuck. And we always make sure they get their money back. I have a key so I can get in because the machine does get stuck. But this wasn't stuck. It was just like laying in the tray. And it wasn't there before. I don't recall anybody using the bank machine. Maybe they did. But I looked over, I looked down the aisle, and the bank machine was sitting there. And there was this $20 bill stuck in there. I'm like, why is that there? So I went and picked it up. Stuffed it in my pocket, right? Yeah. Thinking that's kind of weird. Waited for somebody to come back into the store, and then I just, put it in the cash out bag because, maybe it is somebody's, but
maybe.
Somebody else would have seen it. They might have just pocketed it, right? Like,
like what happened to me.
But we've got cameras everywhere, so I think people are aware that place has got cameras everywhere, so nobody steals anything.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. They had to post another post. I missed the location. I got her fixed there now. Yeah, I don't know.
I got the Face Radio show in my thing saying it's streaming to Facebook again. Face Radio Network on my side.
Oh, not on my end. I got reds. But it's break time.
It's all red.
Yeah, well, it's break time. We'll go to break. We'll just carry on with or without Facebook. Okay, when we return, Tamara and I will continue our talk. We got, as I mentioned, I got some study stuff here that we're going to review throughout the show. And hey, you're watching the Pace Radio Show. We're live here at paceradio.net. Where's that commercial? There it is.
You're listening to the Pace Radio Network here at paceradio.net.
Campbellford Lifestyle Shop. Open Monday to Friday from 10 till 7 p.m. or by chance. Check out our flags, our t-shirts, plus our hats, and look of that supply of rolling papers, plus much more. We've got bongs and your favorite herbal vaporizers. Look at all the incense we have, as well as for those who collect knives, check out these knives in our collection. And while you're here, stop in to see Shay at the piercing room, where you can get poked by Shay. Daily deals, check them out. Campbellford Lifestyle Shop, 17 Bridge Street West, Campbellford, Ontario.
When you have a pain that's reached its peak, Legacy for 20, it's so unique. If organic cannabis is what you seek, here's your trusted partner 7 days a week. Suppository salves, vapes and drops, topicals, edibles, infused pop. Just when life seems like it ain't easy, at Legacy 420, enjoy a pop freezy. Lab tested products, make them the GOAT. Legacy 420 out on your road. Legacy 420 in Tyndonega Mohawk territory. Indigenous organic cannabis at its finest.
What do you find at paceradio.net? People advocating cannabis education.
Limestone City Hydroponics is Kingston, Ontario's hydroponics shop. Take your growing to the next level and create the optimal environment with a tent kit, or maximize your yield with an ebb and flow flood table kit. Either way, Limestone City Hydroponics has more sizes and options to fit your needs. Are you looking for the power of the sun that adapts to your budget? Then look no further, as they have professional grow lighting. They have indoor grow systems that are easy and cost effective, with many options to fit your living space and lifestyle. Cultivate your growing potential. We have everything you need to succeed. And if you can't make it to the store, they offer local delivery to the greater Kingston area. Remember, when you're looking for experts to help you grow, then look no further than the locally owned Limestone City Hydroponics, 105 Sunderland Drive in Kingston, Ontario. Call them at 613-548-0420.
You're listening to the Pace Radio Network here at paceradio.net.
And we're back. We're live with the Pace Radio Show, paceradio.net. What are you looking at,
We're live
Tamara?
on Cameras on Coffee with Marijuana too. I was trying to find the link. I just added us to. Oh, we are live now on Cannabis and Coffee with Marijuana. I could add that.
Okay, you're gonna see how long it lasts. See if it stays.
Yeah.
It'll probably run through the show. I see
might.
we're still with.
The
I see
420.
we're still with the 420 Pace
Yeah.
Facebook page. We're still
Yeah.
running there.
So yeah,
And-
just we'll see if that works for a bit. But I was trying to find a link, like how so they can watch us on StreamYard, but the invite is to the back to be a guest. And is there no way you can watch just like is there not a StreamYard
website where you can go to and catch all the shows? No.
Yeah. No.
No.
I didn't know that.
No. Yeah, like you can yeah, you can't do that. There's no spot.
Oh.
You go to
I
your
thought that was
destination. So
Or that was StreamYard, you could do that. Because I know one time I could go on one of them.
yeah, I
It was
don't know.
StreamYard. I don't know. I can't remember.
Alrighty.
Or that was why I was squinting at the screen. I was trying to figure out how I could, share this.
Yes. I know, right? This doesn't make sense. I'll
No,
figure it out.
it doesn't. Because, like I said, here you are on my Cannabis and Coffee Facebook page,
Right.
and 420 Pace Facebook page, but we can't go on.
Yeah. I just gotta.
It's weird. It's very, very weird.
Yeah, but we're here. That tastes good. Just
We have
What's-
lightning strikes.
what's that?
Lightning strikes.
Oh, okay. Well, hopefully you don't lose your power. So, as I mentioned before the break, we had some studies and stuff like that I wanted to take a look at,
Absolutely.
and there's one here. I'll just bring it up on the screen here. There we go. They take children have been removed from the home because of cannabis.
Yeah.
They say that cannabis is a negative, so the children are at risk and they gotta remove them. So it's interesting that this new federally funded study indicates that using cannabis increases positive parenting behavior.
After how many times that they had to come and try and take our kids away.
Yeah, exactly. Oops,
I know.
wrong
I have
button.
my door too. This child's living in an illicit drug house. Here's my papers. Get the fuck off my doorstep.
Yeah, just a second.
I'll take the same opportunity to tell my dogs to shut up because they're all barking.
Well, that's what was going on. My cat's at the door. Cat's at the door.
That's when we got that little Bubba idiot in the kitchen. Like I was saying, I got Lola in heat, so I got her locked up, and everybody else that's not fixed is losing their minds. There's only
right.
but that one little one is the worst, Bubba.
Oh, really? Eh?
He is.
So it says that they're saying that the study finds that parents typically don't consume cannabis while their kids are present. Those who use cannabis, however, were also significantly likely to report positive parenting behaviors in the same time frame that they consumed the cannabis.
Well, it doesn't make you a zombie.
No, exactly.
I think
Now, this came from the University of Tennessee, the Ohio State University, and San Jose State University.
Well, pain
Yeah.
pills make people more non-coherent than cannabis, that's for sure. And how many parents take opioids to kill their pain and still have their children?
Mhm. Yeah.
Nobody's banging on their door to come take their children.
It says here that the findings reveal a complicated relationship between cannabis use and parenting among the sample of cannabis users. They say that some information on ways parents can engage in harm reduction to support positive parenting.
Well, it helps you from not killing people, so that's probably why,
Yeah.
Healthy 100%.
They say on average, participants were 32 years of age. 72% of them were moms. 50% were married or living in a marriage-like relationship, so common law. So the rest of them were either single, divorced, or widowed. Okay.
Well,
Go
there's so much of that. Like,
yeah.
and here's a thing too, like men's mental health. We just lost another fellow here in town. So men's mental health, and I think cannabis can help in a lot of ways with that too.
Right. Yes, it can. It can.
Yeah, studies are, I'm glad that, like I said, I'm glad to see that the Americans are doing some studies and then we can actually reference these things. And I think sometimes, even though I'm not American, I don't like Americans much. Some of their studies really hold merit up here too, right? Especially when you're talking to medical professionals or legal professionals, because let's face it, we still have people in all the professions that don't understand cannabis or its use.
No. Yeah. Well, they said 93% of the people, so parents report that children were not present in 92.5% of the episodes when they reported using cannabis. So there's 7.5% that the child was present. So numbers are very low.
Well, I mean, if you're sitting outside around a fire pit.
Yeah, exactly.
It might not be right in your face, but they're in the near vicinity.
Yeah, they can be present around the fireplace. It doesn't mean that they're being hot boxed in any way.
No, and it's outside, right? I mean, when you're in a house and it's a confined space, I wouldn't want my kids, But again, my son was exposed to it for most of his life. We drug test him, we did, and he came back with no trace, no nothing.
There you go.
So we were trying to say like he's not. It was not like we're blowing it in his face, like. And meanwhile, kids are like smoke rises, right? Kids are like smoke's above them. They're not like it's not good unless you're blowing it in your kid's face. It's not going to affect them.
Yeah, no. They said the parents had significantly higher odds of reporting positive parenting behaviors in the same time frame that they reported using cannabis. They said that positive parenting is defined, because I'm sure people are wondering that. What is positive parenting? They say showing a child love, warmth, and care while providing and being sensitive to their needs.
Well, yeah, not screaming and yelling like an alcoholic does.
No relationship between a parent's reports of using cannabis and aggressive discipline during the same period.
You weren't using cannabis when you were raising your kids, were you?
well, yeah. Well, I've been, well, really myself. I started using cannabis when I was 13, but yeah, I was actually consuming cannabis oil through a lot of my kids' younger ages.
See, and I always did too. And if they found it, it was always like, that's mommy's medicine, don't touch it. Right. And that was like,
They never found mine, so
I was a single mom. I was careless.
yeah,
What
that
can I say?
happened. Yeah,
Like I wasn't,
that yeah. So like as far as they could have thought that I was smoking cigarettes because that's what it looked like, right?
Well, I would tell them to leave the room unless they were smoking it with us, and they'd go running out of the room screeching. Are you smoking this?
Yeah.
No, then get out.
Oh yeah,
And
no,
they,
yeah. I didn't smoke in their presence, but if they saw me, that's all they were told.
it wasn't really in their, like I said, we would be smoking in another room, right, or outside, like on the deck kind of thing, and they'd come out to the deck, and it's like, you can't be out here, like go, like like, so it wasn't like, it wasn't like we're sitting down in the living room where they're playing on the floor and we're smoking weed. That wasn't a real thing. Not that I recall.
They say those who had a spouse, partner, or friends with them when using cannabis had higher odds of reporting positive parenting in the next time period. So that'd be in that 3-4 hour period afterwards.
And I think it makes you more patient as like, really, I mean, let's face it, kids are high stress and cannabis is a relaxation. So if you can, smoke a little bit before and you have to deal with a colicky baby, there's all kinds of different situations.
Yeah.
Right?
No, they
definitely.
also say there's also they say being with these individuals might encourage positive parenting in order to have their parenting judged favorably or to minimize appearances of the harmful effects of cannabis on parenting. With partners, in particular, parents using cannabis may have an arrangement that the partner is the primary caregiver or disciplinary when cannabis is being used. This could alleviate some of the pressure of parenting, enabling the parent to focus on positive behaviors.
Do they do that with alcohol? Now, only one of the parents can drink while one of them is consuming.
Well, yeah, that's what. Yeah, exactly.
Right? What is up with that? Like, that doesn't seem like a fair assessment.
Yeah.
Alcohol.
See, like in my situation, my wife, Gail, wasn't a consumer, so I was always
around tabling at all because I was always the one with him all the time, 24/7. Because right? There's nobody here.
Yeah.
So what are you saying then? I shouldn't have my child? It's bullshit.
Oh yeah, for sure, exactly, bullshit.
That's what that whole thing where one parent should be sober while the other one's consuming. No, because come on, that just seems ridiculous. That part of it.
No. Yeah, they say given the relatively small size and non-representative nature of these surveyed, authors warn that their findings should be interpreted cautiously. As they always say, more research.
Well, that's a survey too. It's not an actual it's a survey
now they say
about whether they
says here our results suggest that medical cannabis legalization can have a significant positive impact on the development of children via increased parenting time, especially to those under the age of 6, a period characterized by long-run returns to parental investment.
Yeah, this first 6 years they say are formidable for babies. And they're best learning, I guess. I guess apparently we learn everything we need to know by the time we're 6.
Yeah. Let's say here, the big caveat in these findings, researchers note, is that the benefits apply only if the parents do not misuse cannabis.
Define misuse.
Let's see if it says here.
Define misuse of cannabis. Like what is that? Once a day, twice a day,
I'm looking to see if they've got it here. See here. Study, a recent study found that state let's see if it tells me anything here.
I don't like
states. The states that legalized medical cannabis saw nearly a 20% drop in foster care cases for parental drug misuse. That was a study that came out a couple of years ago.
But I mean, like I said, they have to define what.
But a 20% drop in foster care cases.
Well, there you go. Hello. Because you're not coming in and ripping fucking kids out of their fucking house because they're smoking a bit of cannabis. Like, give me a break. What a fucking facade of bullshit and waste of taxpayers' dollars.
Yeah.
Again,
well, there was.
But they were doing it here too.
I don't know if I don't have it in front of me, but I believe it's the business I'm thinking of, which was a child care provider business. And they were sort of like a foster home and everything. And they had multiple locations, and they were giving grams of cannabis a day to some of the kids, which were minors. And they were receiving like $2.5 million a year in grants and funding from the province.
Oh, you're kidding.
Yeah. Spirit Rising House, I believe, is the name of it. So there's charges. There's now charges against the.
Oh, but Jesus Christ, I can't even imagine doing that. Who does that?
But yeah, the interesting part is every year they got funding. They got increased funding, and there didn't seem to be, as far as I know, anyways, problems. But why would they give increased funding and keep doing the funding if there was problems as far as from the children? Now, I'm not sure how it all came to light to the authorities. I did at one time because I haven't read the story in a while now. But
when was this? Like, what year was this? Do you remember?
Yeah, just like last year. It was just in the news. The charges were just in the news, like like 2 weeks ago. Here, I'll just look it up.
Yeah, let's bring this up because I don't remember hearing. I'd like to hear. So they were charged with having a daycare in a foster home and giving children cannabis. Were the children eating cannabis? Like, were they epileptic children? Were they sick children? Like, were the children in need of cannabis? Or were they just cannabis? Like, I don't know. Like, there's a difference. Depending on the medicinal need of that child, maybe that child needed a gram of cannabis a day.
Okay, here you go. Let me just bring that. Go back. I want to go back there. Okay. Yeah. Same one. I got two tabs. Says here, province cuts ties with Winnipeg foster home operator after teens given cannabis daily. Now, the provincial review found cannabis was given to foster kids as harm reduction tools by the Spirit Rising House staff.
Okay.
They were a Winnipeg-based for-profit company that runs 9 foster homes and 2 specialized group homes for 34 high-risk youth in child and family care services. They say that they are talking about some of the most vulnerable at-risk youth, incredibly complex needs.
Yeah.
So to learn that cannabis is being distributed is quite concerning, according to their family's minister.
No. Somebody should just, sit down with that guy and educate him because maybe those kids need that. Would they rather than be smart cocaine? Or who knows where these kids came from trauma-wise? Like, come on.
They said that former and current employees they said that underage youth were provided cannabis by staff, which was widely known throughout the company. Now, according to a former employee, this quote here says, harm reduction is great when it's being used for harm reduction. But they believe providing cannabis every day at 3:30 p.m. They said, yeah, they were providing cannabis to these kids, these teenagers, every day at 3:30.
Yeah, why wouldn't you? Would you rather give them Ritalin? Would you rather give them Valium? What would you rather give them? Something that's
Well, here you go. Staff were told by upper management. So it was better to have workers at home provide cannabis than risk residents going elsewhere and doing harder drugs such as
or getting something that
methamphetamine
was laced.
or opioids. They say that it's easier to keep them placid and happy than have them deal with the paperwork of hospitals and police.
Right? Exactly. So you know what? Like, get off your high horses and realize that there's nothing wrong. It's not the devil's lettuce.
Yeah.
It's
Now,
medicine.
every teen was given, they say as young as 15, was given a choice between 1 gram of cannabis a day or getting weekly cash allowance. Everybody picked the cannabis.
Yeah. Of course. Of course. Why wouldn't they? And again, you've got the option of letting them go out to the street and getting something off the street that's laced, or buying something else, or alcohol. There's other ways. Don't think a 15-year-old can't get alcohol if they don't want it.
These children, or the teenagers that they were giving the cannabis to, which were keeping them
at home playing with games,
home.
eating.
They call them live level 5 CFS children, youth with high complex care needs, demanded at risk of sexual orientation, drug use, and self-harm.
Yeah. What a better way to keep them fucking from self-harming. What a better way from keeping them off the street. I'd know. The kids that are out causing all the trouble and stuff aren't smoking weed. The kids that are out causing trouble are the ones that are drinking and doing drugs. Even here. The kids that are smoking weed are playing their games in their bedroom.
Just seeing what else they got here.
Wow.
It's open business in 2021. Okay.
I think you know what? I think that's great. I think they were doing a fabulous job.
It's co-owned by a fellow who is well-known addictions counselor and managing director at a recovery center.
And they're shutting them down.
Yeah.
They're shutting them down. Oh, you know why?
The province and the CFS.
Reduction at all.
What's that?
The province doesn't want any harm reduction at all.
Yeah. The province and CFS agencies paid the company over $2.2 million for its services last year.
Good. They're doing good service.
And they provided an authority responsible for, no, it was something else. So like, how did they get $2.2 million? Obviously, they must have been doing something. They must have had some
care of these children, and the children are doing just fine. There was obviously no other complaints until somebody found out about the cannabis.
Well, and it's as I said, those kids are at-risk kids. They are out on the street.
That should be. How can we help them? Can we write letters? Who do we have to contact to tell them that they need their funding? They should not be shutting them down. They should be allowing this. This is the best thing for these kids. Where do we go with this?
Yeah, I would say the Manitoba government.
Well, WAB community.
Yeah.
Let's get on it. Because that sounds disgusting to me. Can you please send me the link to that in my inbox on Facebook?
Yeah. It says here the owner says that cannabis can be a means of harm reduction if a person chooses it over other drugs.
Do they have his name in there?
His name, yeah, his name. He is the co-owner of Spirit Rising, and his name is Ian Rabb.
Ian Rabb. Well, let's
RABB.
we're gonna help this dude because I think that's disgusting, and I think what he's been doing with these kids is absolutely fabulous. Saying it, it's fabulous.
Well, you know, obviously he's done something that the kids were benefiting from. They weren't out on the street causing trouble, and they've suffered trauma. You know, let's shove them full of SSRIs or whatever you call those. You know, maybe it was the fact that it was done quietly.
Well, didn't it say somewhere that they were aware of it and they were okay with it?
Well, yeah, the owner, but the people who were running it were fine with it. It was the provincial ministry that had an issue with it.
Well, I don't understand that because I think that it's legal to begin with, right? And it's medicine.
Cannabis is legal for people 18 and over.
Yeah, but it's medicine,
province,
right?
Hmm?
And if these kids had medical need,
yeah, you know,
so why don't they have medical need? They have medical need.
Could they have gone at it a different way by actually having
medical licensing for them?
A licensed physician there that would do that for them.
Right, and that's the thing. Maybe they have that option now. Maybe they can come forward and say, "Hey, these kids have medical need. We have a medical program." Maybe Ian Rabb's not aware of the medical program. Maybe he is, but
he is.
You know, that,
but also knows it's hard for. It can be hard for somebody under 18 to get licensed.
Yeah, well, but again, also have access to clean, tested cannabis, right? Which is what you want for them. Like, no matter what, like if they're going to get it anyway. Let's put it this way: would you rather them take the money and go to the street, or would you rather have them be provided from a safe environment and a safe, tested place?
Yeah.
So, I understand it's the same thing with alcohol, right? But kids we can't get moonshine, right? You're not going to, like, when kids get alcohol.
Yeah, bathtub gin.
Right? They're not going to get anything laced. Somebody's going to bootleg for them a case of beer. You know, mom and dad usually do it. By the time you're 17, 18 years old, your parents are usually buying you a 6-pack, right? Like if they're drinkers. I had friends that bought us, their parents bought us booze, right? I was growing up. My parents.
I wasn't a big drinker, but I used to steal my mom's Moray cigarettes.
Well, whatever, right? We were
8.
We were drinkers. It was the 80s in Lethbridge. We all drank. Like we were fucking drunks by the time we were 15. Not kidding you. And like I said, I had a girlfriend. Her dad would buy us fucking 2 4s of beer on a Friday night. I think we were 14 or 15 years old.
Yeah, I had friends that had lost the license before they got it.
Right. So yeah. So I'm not. Here I'm admitting this. I hope my mom never sees this. Anyway, we were.
Alrighty. I see that it is after the hour, and I'll just put my vape cartridge away. And play the commercial, Sam. That's right. Play the commercial. Here we go. First, a little promo. Are you looking for non-stop, continuous cannabis and psychedelic programming? If you are, then turn your browsers to 420radio.ca or paceradio.net, where you will find the 420 Pace re-rolled Saturday. Everything gets started at 8 a.m. Eastern Saturday morning.
You're listening to the Pace Radio Network here at paceradio.net.
Limestone City Hydroponics is Kingston, Ontario's hydroponics shop. Take your growing to the next level and create the optimal environment with a tent kit, or maximize your yield with an ebb and flow flood table kit. Either way, Limestone City Hydroponics has more sizes and options to fit your needs. Are you looking for the power of the sun that adapts to your budget? Then look no further, as they have professional grow lighting. They have indoor grow systems that are easy and cost effective, with many options to fit your living space and lifestyle. Cultivate your growing potential. We have everything you need to succeed. And if you can't make it to the store, they offer local delivery to the greater Kingston area. Remember, when you're looking for experts to help you grow, then look no further than the locally owned Limestone City Hydroponics, 105 Sunderland Drive in Kingston, Ontario. Call them at 613-548-0420.
Are you looking to get your medical cannabis grow license? Limestone City Hydroponics can help patients through the process of obtaining their license to grow medical cannabis. What's that? You don't have a doctor. If you meet the medical criteria, Limestone City Hydroponics has a nurse practitioner who can assess and provide medical cannabis prescriptions. What are you waiting for? Contact Limestone City Hydroponics at limestonecityhydroponics.ca or call them at 613-548-0420.
What do you find at paceradio.net? People advocating cannabis education.
Enjoy the buzz of legalization with Campbellford Lifestyle Shop. From lights to plant nutrients, books, consumption accessories, and more, we've got all your basics to grow or consume cannabis. Visit our info center or take a look at our piercing services and body jewelry, now available in-store through Campbellford Lifestyle Shop, 17 Bridge Street West, Campbellford.
Are you looking for non-stop, continuous cannabis and psychedelic programming? If you are, then turn your browsers to 420radio.ca or paceradio.net, where you will find the 420 Pace re-rolled Saturday. Everything gets started at 8 a.m. Eastern Saturday morning.
Cannabis edibles are an effective way to manage pain and other ailments, especially when you deal with your trusted partner, Legacy 420, in Tyendinaga Mohawk territory. You see, we lab test every product on site to ensure proper dosage every time, which is critical when consuming cannabis edibles. All Legacy 420 edibles are made by our classically trained baker and chocolatier, and we also have super tasty vegan options.
Our baker has been in the industry for 25 years. She's also a chocolatier. Everything from savory to sweet, your chocolate bars, brownies, butter tarts, you name it, we make it.
Talk to our knowledgeable Cannatex about our incredible variety available. Give your trusted partners a call. Legacy 420 out on your road.
You're listening to the Pace Radio Network here at paceradio.net.
Hey, you're back with the Pace Radio Show. I don't know if you noticed or not, but in that commercial at the end there, the Legacy 420 commercial, they showed some of the baked goods. So today when I was there, like I said earlier, I got my THC base. I got my vape cartridges. And I got samples of some of those baked goods that you see in the commercials.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Very, very yummy. I ate them all.
Careful. I mean, you see me chawing on, that's why you gummy bears and stuff, because there's no flour in them, right? I love cakes and stuff, but some of that I can't eat. It kills me.
Can't eat it, eh?
No.
Yeah, I had for the longest time I had problems with baked goods, because that back then, like 20 years ago, it's what we were eating was a bunch of baked goods. It was all that.
And you were also throwing the fiber in there. It was there was no butter because nobody was making butter because you weren't allowed to, right?
Well, we still made butter. Even
when I first started eating cannabis, we get a Betty Quake. What are they? Betty cake, Quaker, whatever. Pound cake things. You get a sliced pound cake, throw an ounce of weed into the fucking batter mix it all up, and then eat that, and then sit there for 5.5 hours. The body's still like, eh. It was horrible.
Yeah, the days of putting the whole cannabis right into the brownies. Yes.
Lots.
Yeah, those were the days.
And throwing it in, to make turtles and stuff. Now, why not just throw it in a capsule and you have to eat them at all?
Right.
They're the most horrible tasting, shitty things ever.
But I know some people who make their butter and they leave their cannabis right in the butter.
Yeah. No thanks. I can't eat it. That's why I shock mine. I cannot have that chlorophyll.
Yeah, I know. Hey, I can remember the first time I made my first batch of cookies from my own cannabis. First time I'd ever made it. And after eating one, forcing it down because the taste
was fucking, yeah.
was just horrid. Oh, it was terrible.
Right?
Oh yeah.
That's what we got, spice cake.
Oh, I tossed my cookies, man. It was gross. It
And then
was.
you're going, oh, now I wasted all this weed.
Yeah, it was bad. But things have changed, over time. That's how you learn, right? You start at one spot, and then you get to the point where.
Well, I remember the first time I had one of those hard candies that I made. I went to the person that made them. I go, how do you make those? She goes, figure it out for yourself. I'm okay. You know how many
thank you.
glycerin and everything to get to find to make it was just a fucking nightmare. A whole summer. I finally got it done. But anyway. Yep. But yeah. Yeah, we figured out for yourself. I did. I'm like, okay, fuck you then. Thanks for being a friend.
I never made hard candies.
It was, like I said, I couldn't figure out at first. This is before we had a lot of even before the shatter. Like we're talking just oils and distillants and whatever. Like we're talking when I really got started, 2007. So shatter really wasn't a thing, right? Like all you could use was oil, and I couldn't figure out how she was infusing the candy. Is it glycerin? Was it Everclear? Like what, oil? Like what was? And she wouldn't tell me. She's like, figure it out for yourself. So I started with glycerin, thinking if I infused glycerin, but it made the candies too, they wouldn't set up. And then I went to Everclear, and I was actually making the candies with the Everclear, making the oil right in with the mixture and then pouring it, which was fucking dangerous as fucking hell.
Yeah.
And then I figured out that I could use oil, right, which worked okay, and then once the shatter started coming out, it was way easier just to use that. And that's how I boiled down to it. But yeah, I went through it.
Now, then don't you have to watch your heat on the candy because you can overheat the candy? And it won't harden properly or something.
Yeah, you have to have a candy thermometer. I've got 8 or 12 of them. I don't even know how many I've got. You can't put the cannabis in.
Yeah, because you can't find the one that you just used.
Right, and you have to put the cannabis in at a certain point because you don't want to put it in because it has a flash point too, right?
Right,
so you put the candy to get to the temperature that you need it to, but you don't want to have the cannabis extract in there too long because then it'll break it down. So it's basically boom, boom. You have to be watching, and get the temperature to just where you need it to, and add, and then go. It's and then
I never made them. I've never made gummies.
Gummies are different, right? Gummies are all done with cool, warm water. It's Jello, right? It's not the same. So you can add your liquid that you've got there to a gummy mixture because it's all gelatin and water until you dab it all into the little gummy things, and then it'll harden up just like that, right? But then you have to put them into. If you don't use enough gelatin, and if you don't use a certain preservative, which is citric acid, you have to put that citric acid in that mixture too, or they go moldy. I don't, you know what I mean? Yeah, and a lot of people.
So is that the citric acid that I would use in my garden is a crystal powdery stuff.
This is food grade citric acid, not the same.
So yeah, it's food grade. So just make sure it wasn't a liquid. That's all.
No, it's not. So you have your gelatin, which is a crystal, your Jello, right?
Okay.
So it's making a gelatin, thick gelatin. So you usually use a couple packages of Jello, then you use 10 packages of fucking just Knox gelatin, right?
Now, is that gelatin flavorless?
No.
The gelatin
well, the Jello is what you use for the flavor, right? So why you use a couple packs of Jello and then add the gelatin because you want them to be firm. So why you want them to use lots of gelatin, right? You want the flavor, so yeah. Anyway, and then you put the citric acid in with the mix, the powder mixture first, and then you add your water to it, which is hot. You mix it and blah blah blah. Let it cool down, but add your mixed whatever you got there would probably be perfect, and then you're off to the races, right?
Yeah.
Make that gummies that way. I make gummies.
Yeah, it's nice to, throw a couple drops in a beverage before bed. Helps
Right?
with getting to sleep and relax the sore muscles after the day.
Well, yeah, especially like you can put it in tea or anything, right? Even
Yeah.
hot chocolate, anything. That's
Yeah.
I might have to check out the website because I kind of like think that looks kind of cool.
Mm. Yes, exactly.
And
Well,
like I said, I'm going to be needing donations.
oh yeah, let's talk about that. So what do
Okay,
you
so
do?
on Monday night or Monday on my show, we had Fuck Around and Find Out Monday because there's a lot of shit that's been going down in Vancouver with the cannabis substitution program.
Okay.
Anyways, that
Yeah.
being said, we have a huge drug problem here in Campbellford. Like, I mean, there's people overdosing on a daily. I've got a house across the street that the cops and the ambulances are always there. Always.
Mm.
So I'm going to go speak to a couple places tomorrow. One is Anchors, which is our drug testing site, and they give out drug
Drug testing site. Oh,
Yeah, they
oh,
got
you
the
got
same
one of
space.
those.
We do.
Nice.
Anchors is a drug testing facility, and they give out pipes and needles and whatever as well, like harm reduction.
Right. Yeah.
Both.
They're yeah. You
But
know.
they're the ones that have the same machine Dana has because Shambhala donated this machine. So it's the same machine that Dana has. Out in
Okay.
Vancouver, and it's the only other one in British Columbia besides the one that Dana has. So we've got Anchors in town that does it's like a drug testing site, right? And harm reduction. And then we have Street Angels, which where the houseless can go to get like clothing and a meal and that kind of thing. So it's kind of like a drop-in center. I'm going to go reach out to them and I'm going to start a Kootenai cannabis substitution program because I feel that there's a great need for it here. And like I said, I'm going to go approach some of the stores, the legal stores too, because I'm thinking they can give away a 420 bundle that I won. Maybe they're able to give away something somehow, even if it's a bunch of pre-rolls or something, and see if they, because of this is and I'm not setting up any non-for-profits. I'm not
Right.
doing anything. I'm not. And neither do any of the other ones because Surrey's running, Langley's running, Vancouver's running, Chris
Mhm.
Backer's running in Halifax. Nobody's
There's-
setting up charities and not-for-profits. This is me in my car going out. I need socks and all that kind of stuff, but I want to get it going because it's a huge need here. Huge. We lost a 13-year-old to fentanyl overdose. A fucking 13-year-old to fentanyl. And she died. So something's got to be done. And if it has to, nobody's listening. Nobody cares. It's just ridiculous. So maybe this will be helpful. And I had somebody already going, well, how do you think that's going to come in and they rob the store for meat? I said, you know what? If they're going to take that money that they would be using to buy some other hard drug and go buy food with it
Yeah.
rather than stealing it because this is helping them, then why would you want to stop it? And really, it's none of your business. And I'm not asking anybody's fucking permission. I'm not. I'm not going to go and get anybody's permission. I don't think anybody else has. What are you going to do?
Yeah. Well, I'm thinking. Something's telling me. I believe Chris did approach the police department when he started.
I'm not. It's legal. And if I'm
You're just
handing
gonna
out
set up. You're just gonna set up at the table.
legal, if I'm gifting out legal cannabis out of the back of my car, say the stores are giving me like 30 joints, and I'm going out and handing out 30 joints of legal cannabis and a baggie full of cookies and a bottle of water and some socks, and they're not gonna. And it's
Yeah.
not.
If you've got 30 joints, that's your 30 grams.
Yeah, and I'm not going to do any more than that. That's 30 people I can help once a week, right?
Right. Give out the joints.
Maybe 2 joints. So it's only 15 people. I don't know how many people are going to show up.
Well, that's the thing. Well, you'll start, I believe, like, because I don't know how you're gonna promote it
I'm going to
around
go and
there.
like I said, I'm going to do a little, lay of the land, go talk to Anchors, see how many people would be, like, where to go, how many people are using, what are the numbers, like, get myself the lay of the land, right? Find out what the numbers are on the streets, to find out how many people are out there, because that's where you go to find out is where they are, right?
Yeah.
Like I said, my other friend, she works along with at the homeless shelter, which again is what you need to be doing. Like, you need to be reaching out to these people and letting them know that cannabis can be a harm reduction. Maybe they don't know that. Maybe it's some education along the way too, right? So it's just like I said, I've been sitting kind of stagnant. There's an election coming up. I don't want nothing to do with it. The only way that I feel that I can do some public service is this with through cannabis. So why not start something where I'm giving back and I'm feeling like I'm doing a public service and I'm not being a fucking politician and I'm helping the people that need it and it's something that I know. So you know what they say, go with what you know.
Yeah, yeah,
That's
yeah,
that, right? That's
exactly.
cannabis. Something I've been hanging on to for 20 years and it saved my life, Al. I mean, honestly, I was,
Well,
if it wasn't for cannabis, I might not be here. I was smoking crack 20 years ago or 19 years ago on the 5th of October. I gave it up. But I sat and I smoked cannabis for months. And that's what kept me from the cravings, all kinds of
mhm,
things. That's just the one way it helps me. So I chalk it up to that being the reason why I'm, a sober, productive part of society now.
okay. Yeah, you know, when I got my Crohn's disease, the my options were opiate drugs or cannabis when it came to dealing with the pain and all that.
Yeah,
And I went with the cannabis because I was concerned of becoming a stat,
right, right.
knowing of the addiction. And yet at that time, it wasn't as prevalent as it is now. Like that was 22 years ago.
And I mean, I've been attention deficit my whole life, and
Mm,
cocaine made me feel like I was normal. And it makes sense now that I've been attention, like now that I've got the diagnosis and I take the
right.
medication for the attention deficit, because if I snorted a line of cocaine, I could actually focus and get something done.
Yeah.
That makes any sense. And it makes sense now because of the attention deficit, right?
Well,
Stimulants. So
Ritalin.
it's the same thing. I want Ritalin. Like I've done Ritalin already. We've been through
Right.
Ritalin. I'm
And
been through Ritalin, been through Concerta. Now we're taking Vyvanse, and Vyvanse is way better. Ritalin made me feel like I was doing the drugs again. That's why I
yeah,
didn't take the Ritalin for very long. I didn't like the way it made me feel. So I told my doctor it makes me feel like a dirty crackhead. I can't do it. She looks at me, she goes, okay, let's put you on something else then. So we tried something else, and that one didn't work so good. So now we've tried this, and this seems to work pretty good.
good.
And I'm not up all night either, which the other one was making me so I couldn't sleep. So
Yeah, I think I saw something you posted. Oh, I forgot to take my medicine today. Look out, store.
yeah, work out that squirrel. I took my meds today, but it's probably starting to wear off because it only lasts for 12 hours. So yeah, I took
Um,
it early today because I had to be at work at 7:30. So it's 7:20. It's probably starting to wear down. It's only to work. It's
yeah,
only good for 12 hours,
yeah.
and then
So,
it
so you have to take it twice a day?
no, I take it once for 12 hours. So I take it at 10 o'clock in the morning usually, unless I work at 7, and then I take it at 7, right? Because I got to be
Right.
there all day. But I take it at 10 so that at 10 o'clock when I'm getting off work, it's wearing down so I can come home and go to sleep. Because if
Oh,
I
okay, yeah, 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 yeah. Because there are people who have problems
you
slowing.
don't crash off it either. Like some people crash like when their meds start wearing down. You find with kids, right? They'd always say they hit the wall and the kid would be like, a vegetable and couldn't like was just
Mhm.
exhausted after coming off the meds. The medications changed so much over the years. It's not like that anymore. So when I'm like, I mean, I get a little bit squirrely, but then I'm tired and I can actually go to sleep. My brain is still like slow enough where if I didn't take the medication, my brain never stops. There's like 150 voices in my head. It's yeah.
Mm, yeah, yeah. Gotta get them quiet. Get them calmed down. There's too many voices going on.
Well, that's why I smoke a lot of cannabis too, because that absolutely helps too. But it was a point that it wasn't enough, right?
Mm.
Now I can do both, but yeah, and it's helpful too. It really is.
Yes. Oh, yeah. Yeah. It allows you to focus, calms things down. Just like as with that, as I said, for those kids those teenagers, it, I guess, I sedated them, calmed them down.
Well, I wouldn't say it probably sedated them either, because I mean,
Yeah, you're right there. That's probably a
there's
bad
a
choice of
difference
words.
between that too. I would imagine like maybe it did. Maybe they did have some addiction problems. Maybe it was curbing the cravings, like we've heard,
Oh,
right?
yeah. Yeah. Well, they were at-risk youth that were there at the home, right?
Well, like I
And
said,
and what and
we that
I'm
we
sure
should be
they've
able to,
dealt with some. I'm sure they've been dealing with some severe trauma up to this point as well.
right? I don't think it was a bad thing, and I think whoever is having an issue with it really needs to be educated. And I wish that some of us would get together and maybe do that, because that poor Those poor kids. That's all I'm thinking about. Like, I don't even care about the guy that ran the place and whatever. I don't give a shit about him.
Mhm.
I'm thinking about those poor kids. Where are they going to put those kids? And where are
Well,
those
yeah.
kids going to end up now? And it's
We're,
immense.
yeah,
They're
yeah.
probably vulnerable First Nations kids
What
that are
about the children?
right,
What about, yeah.
right. But again, they're probably vulnerable First Nations children who are
Mhm.
already a minority as well and already like what? Like, come on.
I don't know, man. It's like I said earlier, maybe like I don't even think even if they went at it the right way, as we mentioned, having some doctor there that was able to prescribe it to the children or the teenagers. It says teenagers is what it is.
Well, then I think that
Sometimes you say children and people think of 8-year-olds, right?
there are doctors that sign teenagers, and we know they do because we've got teenagers that have been signed up.
Mm-hmm.
So there's got to be there's a doctor out there that would have signed these kids if he saw the need. We know some, I'm sure. We must because, like I said, we've got children that have been signed up. He signed.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah, exactly. Sounds like
This is an
sounds like
impossible.
probably getting a little excited there.
Well, it's funny because I think Jade's in one. Is she not in Brandon, Manitoba? Like she's in Manitoba. Maybe somebody should reach out to her because
Right.
she's the Manitoba activists. Where are they? Hello,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah, things have really changed over the years.
Right?
Over the last few years. There's no doubt about that. So
Oh my God, I'm gonna that yappy Yorkie. I'm telling you, I don't know what to do with him. He's a demon.
Is he?
Oh, he's horrible little thing. And that's the puppy. That's Bubba, the Chorky. But he's just yapping because he's just.
Just isn't quiet. Maybe you should give him some cannabis.
I've tried that one too. Some CBD.
Medicated cookies.
Like I said, we've got Lola and Heat. And this is not normal. Like normally he doesn't bark through the whole show. Today the whole house has been off, and it's because of Lola.
Oh, Lola. Yeah.
Lola. Yeah. So, yeah. La 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 Lola. But yeah, so we've got her locked away, and yeah, we've got him losing his fucking mind. The other two, everybody else is.
Yeah. He's
Nobody
going,
else.
oh, he smokes.
Yeah, nobody
Come on,
else.
come on.
He's like, he's a year old. He's like, losing his fucking mind. So
How is
yeah,
he related to her?
yeah, he is. That's just her grandson. So there's no, and I don't want any more.
No, I thought I'd check because you got so many there. And sometimes.
No, Piper's fixed after that last little, and that's her puppy in there, right? His mom's laying on the pillow over here, but like, no, I don't want any more. I don't need the headache. I don't have the money for another C-section. Like, no.
No.
No, not even interested. She's gonna be 7. She shouldn't be having any pets.
I got Odie visiting me.
Oh well, the cat has to visit, right? I'm surprised that he's lasted this long because usually he's on the keyboard.
Yeah.
Yeah, like that story of Manitoba is really disturbing to me because I just keep thinking about those poor teenagers. Like, because I see like where I work too, like there's so many kids and stuff that come in that you can tell the ones that are, got good parents or they're better parents. And you got, you see the ones that have, some difficulties with their parents, and you see the parents come in and have difficulties parenting, right?
Right.
And it's okay. Like everybody's okay. It's, mind your business. But again, like it's those poor kids, like they've already been through so much. Now they're going to have to be removed from this place, not have the people that they're used to having around, and then lose their medicine on top of it.
So, they were charged with distributing illicit cannabis and providing cannabis to a young person. So are they facing 14 years in jail?
Maybe.
Because they were giving cannabis to minors?
You don't know.
What do you think?
That's a possibility. It's an absolute possibility.
Yeah. Because I know it has to deal with minors and giving them cannabis, so on and so forth.
Right.
Now, I don't know whether they have to be supplying it to them and getting the kids to sell it.
No, I don't think that's got anything to do with it. I think it's got everything to do with them providing it to them for smoke
Yeah.
for consumption. Like, but they were giving it, not. I don't know. That's because it's their minors and they weren't like parents giving it to them. It might be like a parent would be a different situation, you would think, but being that they're not the parent, guardian of that said child, it might be something. I don't know how the law would look at that, and they've been charged. They need a good lawyer.
Yeah, there's looks like there's in this new
But
report. I got another report here that came out about a week and a half ago.
They need
They
to
say
prove
that he's a well-known addictions counselor.
Oh yeah, exactly. Like this guy is not.
Yeah.
He's
Now there are reports or accusations of some of the youth were sexually exploited.
Oh.
That part is.
Oh, then no. Then
that's the disturbing part.
Yeah,
Correct.
no. Well, then no. You don't know. I mean, if you're using it to exploit them, no, it's a whole different ballgame.
Yeah.
I will absolutely agree. But if you're using it to exploit them, so they would do things.
Yeah.
For you because Joe, for 14 years plus, that's sexual exploitation. He needs.
Okay.
They executed a guy yesterday.
Oh, look at that. He ran for
the Conservative Party.
In 2011 he ran for the Conservative Party.
Of course he did.
So there you
go. Fuck.
All righty. Well, I see it's the bottom of the hour. It's 9:30 my time.
Do you see now why I've got 2 of these? Because I hear shit like that. I gotta.
Yeah. I got a bigger battery. One that lasts a little longer.
It's just unbelievable, some of the crap. Anyways.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be
all right.
Out on Monday again. I have guests.
Do you have guests Monday?
Cannabis and Coffee is it's fuck around and find out Monday. And we've got Adam. Dan.
FFMM. All right.
It's fuck around and find out. So Asia and Adam and Dan will be on the show with the latest episodes of what's going on in downtown Vancouver.
Oh no, that's interesting. All righty.
I'm not putting the videos up. We're just going to talk about the aftermath. Basically, we're trying to boost and promote the other cannabis substitution programs because the one that's been running in Vancouver is now running for profit. So there is nothing free coming out of that van, and hasn't been for a long time. And that's what we've exposed is that Neil Magnuson's son is actually living in a penthouse in downtown Vancouver.
So people want to know about that. They should catch your last broadcast.
Yes, and so Asia's been out with her truck now twice, giving away cannabis and getting the donations that were being given to by Mad Hatter, who is Adam and Dan. Right. So these are also people that have been donating to them, and they've been selling it for $15 a gram, no less. Ooh. And Glenn Wells knows all about it, and so does his son.
That's not good.
Yeah. Catch the last episode, and there'll be an update next week.
All right.
Grandma.
All right. You can find the Pace Radio Network on Facebook. We're on Twitter. We're on Instagram, and you can find us online at paceradio.net or pace-online.ca. That's the home of everything. That's where we all started.
And remember, folks, all the cannabis substitution programs need donations all across the country.
Right. And it's getting close to harvest time. So, wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Yeah. Everybody loves a gift.
Yeah, Halifax, Ottawa has a substitution program now. Saskatoon has one. You have to reach out to them. Newton, BC, or is it Newton? I'm not sure where Newton is, actually, to be honest. But Newton, Langley, Surrey, Vancouver, and now Cranbrook. So
it'd be nice to be able to find out like a list of spot where people could.
We're slowly all gathering together. We're finding out more and more because we're reaching out because of the shit show downtown.
Oh, okay. All right. All right. Thanks to our sponsors, Legacy420.com, Campbellford Lifestyle Shop, Limestone City Hydroponics.ca, and At-Eze.ca. Plus, a big thank you to everybody for tuning in to the broadcast and my co-host, Tamara, and thanks to you all. And good night.
Night.
Now I gotta find the right button. There it is. Let's share PACE everywhere. That way it can help create peace. People everywhere advocating cannabis education.
You're listening to the Pace Radio Network here at paceradio.net.